Hey everyone! It's Timmy here with Chalk Couture, and we're super excited to come to you live again and share some great fun ideas on how to create your own DIY home decor. Today we're going to be creating some awesome farmhouse decor with our cute chickens, and I am so excited. I don't know why it's taken me so long to get this chicken transfer out and to start playing with it. So I'm excited to share that with you today. If you're just logging in, please feel free to say hi and let us know you're here. Send me some hearts and some love. That will be great. That will give me a chance to know that you're here and you're watching. And I am just gonna take a minute here and make sure that you all can learn a little bit about me. If you're watching me for the first time, welcome. My name is Timmy. I'm an independent designer with Chalk Couture. I'm also a mentor of other Chalk Couture designers on my team. And I am coming to you here at 8:30 on the East Coast, just starting to get dark, which is awesome. That means that spring is on its way, and it's getting darker later, which makes me super happy. Hope it makes you happy too. I just love the springtime. I love the change of seasons, I have to say. It's one of the great things about being in New England. Always something new is happening, and I just love that. And I love change. I have to admit, that's my thing. My husband and I always laugh about how we come at this really differently. He's not a big change guy. He'd prefer that things stay status quo. And I like to figure out how to change things up all the time, which is why this Chalk Couture stuff really appeals to me. I love being able to change up my decor really easily without spending a whole lot of money, and Chalk Couture gives me the vehicle to do that. So I am super excited to share all that with you. If this is your first time watching, I'd love it if you'd put 1 in the comments just to let me know. And if this is not your first time watching, put in 2 and say hi and make sure you let me know you're here. So I'm just gonna change our view here for a minute and put me here in the top right hand corner, so I'm still here. Hopefully you can still see me. I'm also going to remove some of that from the bottom, get that out of the way. I've left my website up for you, and I'll move it out of the way once we start working on the project, because one of the things that I guess I'm never really very good at explaining is, not only do I love being able to share these great project ideas with you and give you inspiration on things that you can do with our products, but you can actually purchase these products directly from my website and have them shipped to you. I've been talking with some folks who've been interacting with me on my Facebook page, and many of them have said, I didn't really know. Can I buy this online? And you absolutely can on my website. So I am leaving that at the bottom of the screen for a minute. I'm just going to take a second and make sure that I am live. I see Cindy is with me. So Cindy, welcome. It was such a pleasure helping you out today. As I said when I first came on, I get the distinct pleasure of not only sharing these awesome products with you, but I also have an awesome group of designers that I get to help mentor and share how to really have a successful Chalk Couture business. When I first started with Chalk Couture, I kind of never really expected that this was going to be a business for me. For those of you who know me, I have a full-time job that I really like, and I was just really looking for something to kind of bring my creativity out, and I learned about Chalk Couture. And so when someone suggested that I consider being a designer, I thought, oh, I don't have time for that. I have a full-time job. My husband and I like to travel. I am not going to be fooling around dilly-dallying with all of that. And strangely enough, I got kind of interested because I really liked the products a lot, and I loved the thought of getting products at 40% off. I mean, who doesn't like a sale all the time, right? So that was definitely me. I was like, yes, I am totally into that. Love that I would get 40% off. And the minimum was really low in order to stay active and keep that 40% off. It was just $150 a quarter. And I thought, oh my goodness, I could probably spend that much just on buying stuff that I like for myself. So anyway, long story short, I decided to become a designer. And I was just amazed at how it took off. How many people, as I started to share what I was creating, wanted to learn how to do it too. And not only that, wanted to also set up their own business and asked me to mentor them. And I have to tell you, that kind of part of this business is really right up my alley. Is really teaching and sharing with people. And I really love doing that so much. And really helping other women to feel confident and successful. For me, that was really the best part of this whole time. That and getting to use these awesome products that I really love. So anyway, that's kind of what got me here. And I am very excited. Cindy is here today with us chatting, and she said thanks for my help because I was just kind of helping her get started. She just signed up to be a designer with me this week. So I'm super excited to have her and super excited to have you all here and watching. So as I said, if you're just coming in, please be sure to say hi. Let me know that you're watching. And also be sure to give me some thumbs up or some hearts when you hear or see something that you like. I always love to get feedback on the projects that we're doing. I also am just going to take a quick minute here and share this out to my insiders group. I want to make sure that those of my customers who really love our products are getting notification about this live and this project so they can watch along as well. So I just sent that off to them. If you're watching, I would love it if this is your first time watching, if you would like my page and subscribe to these videos, these lives that I do, these projects, so that way you'll get notified when I go live again. Just make a notation in your notifications that you want to be told, and you will. So I would love that, and also really love it if you would share this video with someone that you think might be interested, whether it's to your personal feed, or you tag someone who you think might watch, or you want to share it off in a group you belong to. Any of those would be really awesome, and I would really appreciate it. So, if you have not heard of Chalk Couture before, let me tell you a little bit about it, and then we're going to dive into our project. So, you can probably see right here behind me my little closet. If you've watched one of my earlier videos and posts on my page, you might have heard me say I was dealing with this mess of a closet. This was actually at one time my son's room, but he has since grown up and left the nest, as many of our children do. And his closet was still full of all his stuff and my husband's stuff, and it was overflowing and it was horrible. And I actually took a picture of how bad it was before I got it organized. And when I decided I was going to take over this room to be my office for both my day job and for Chalk Couture, I really needed to clean out that closet. So you can see that I got it now set up so that I'm storing some of my Chalk Couture supplies and also some of the great transfers that we sell. The other thing that you might see right behind me is that's actually my vision board. It's needing still a little bit of work, I have to confess. But I like vision boards because it kind of gives me some remembrance about what it is I'm doing this for and what I want to strive for my business to be. And I have found that although I very much enjoy my job, my day job, which I totally love, it's a great group of people I get to work with, I also really love my Chalk Couture family. And I love the idea of having something that's mine. I don't know if any of you can relate to that, but that is one thing that I think makes this whole process really special, is I feel like I'm building a tribe of my own, and it's been super fun. Anyway, so that's a little bit about me and my story. Let me also just tell you that Chalk Couture is a pretty new company, so if you haven't heard of us before, don't be surprised. We have been around for a little over a year and a half now. I actually signed on to be a designer a year ago last February, and I was a relatively early designer in the company, but the company definitely has been growing since then. Not only are we available now in the United States, but we are also getting ready to roll out being able to sign up designers and sell Chalk Couture products in 4 provinces in Canada. So if you're from Canada and you're watching and you're wondering whether or not it's available there, feel free to message me and I will give you the scoop about how you can learn more, and if you're interested in becoming a designer and getting the first one out there and sharing the chalk love, I'd be happy to tell you how you can do that. So Chalk Couture started about 1.5 years ago, thereabouts, or at least went live about 1.5 years ago. And it was started actually by a woman just like you and I, a young mom who really liked kind of crafting and was doing some vendor shows and became aware that what was really exciting to people as she was going to vendor shows were these chalkboards that she was bringing to her shows. And she quickly realized that there was some opportunity there. So she started creating the Chalkpaste that Chalk Couture is known for, which is this great proprietary formula that she and her husband created right in their own house, that is a chalk that is in paste format. It goes on wet to any surface and dries super hard. So when it dries, it's not going to wipe off on your hands. It's going to stay there until you want to take it off. If you're using it on a chalkboard surface, all you need to do is use some water and you can wipe it away and change out your design. So when I heard that, that was, as I said, right up my alley, because I really loved the whole idea of changing out my decor, but not having to buy tons of different surfaces to do that with. So I have a few different boards and I just regularly change them out for the different seasons. But of course, I also really love the fact that this Chalkpaste can go on so many different surfaces. Chalkboards are awesome and they're really on trend and that's great and I really love them. But you can also put it on wood or painted furniture or walls. And again, in many of those places, you're going to be able to wash it off. As a matter of fact, I've chalked my office walls. I found this great frame at a flea market that I really loved. I didn't like what was inside the frame, but the frame itself stood out really beautifully. And so I put it on my wall with nothing in the middle and then chalked in the center. So, and I was able to wash it off my walls when I wanted to change out the design. So really cool. If you want your designs to be permanent, you certainly can choose to make it permanent. And all you need to do is either, if you're using our Chalkpaste, is seal it with some kind of acrylic spray. Or if you want to actually create using our silkscreen transfers on fabric or even things like glass or ceramic, you can, instead of using our paste, use our inks. And inks can be heat set to make them permanent. So we have the Chalkpaste, we have our couture inks, we call them, and we also have these awesome silkscreen transfers. So I'm going to pop back over so that you can see those silkscreen transfers again. And the one that we're going to use today is these chickens from our new Chalk Story collection. And this is part of the Corner Market collection, and there's, I believe, 3 different transfers in the Corner Market Chalk Story collection, and they all mix and match. And so you can kind of pick and choose what it is you want to use from each of those different transfer sets to kind of make your own unique design. So we have this great chicken, and then I also have this Farm Fresh, and the Farm Fresh was from a Corner Market story as well in the Groceries or Mercantile one. I can't quite remember. I should look that up before we log off. But I'll make sure I put a note in the comments afterwards so that you do know which one it is. Now, what we're actually going to be chalking on today is this wood board. It's a wood palette board. This is not a Chalk Couture surface. This is actually, do you want to see what this was? Hold on, I'll show you what it was. I'll be right back. I had a very good friend of mine who was doing a lot of crafting and was going in a certain direction and then decided to kind of change the direction she was going. But she had bought a bunch of these at the Christmas tree shop. So these big 18 by 18 boards, and you can see the back side of them. And she had said to me, you know, Timmy, what I do is I just paint them up with a little bit of paint, acrylic paint or chalk paint, whatever you want. And then I use that as a surface to chalk on. So that's what I did. I took one of these boards that she had given me, and she gave me about 4 or 5 of them, so that was kind of cool. And I simply just painted this and then waxed it with some antiquing wax to kind of give it a little extra interest. And now it's ready to chalk on. So I think this is going to be a fun surface for these chickens. What do you think? They're going to fit quite nicely. And I think I'm going to keep it pretty rustic, meaning that this is a nice off-white chalk paint that I had painted this wood palette board. So I think I am going to use our black velvet paste for our chickens. So let me show you how easy it is. Now I chatted for the last 15 minutes, right, about this, that, and the other thing. We haven't done a single work yet on this board, but I'm going to show you just how fast and easy it is to transform that board into a work of art and some farmhouse decor that you're just going to love to have in your house or give as a gift. So I've taken it out of the cellophane wrapper that we have. And I keep those cellophane wrappers nearby. And the reason why I do that is that once we finish using this transfer, one of the best things about them is that they are reusable, meaning that you can wash this off with water and put it back on the backer sheet that it comes with. That's this white carrier sheet that the silkscreen transfer is attached to. So you can see that. You can put it right back on that backer sheet after it's been washed and dried, and then just put it right back in its cellophane wrapper and hang it up and use it again and again. So you can use our silkscreen transfers about 8 to 10 times, and as long as you take really good care of it, you're going to be able to use it over and over again. Now, when I take off a transfer, a brand new transfer from the backer sheet, I usually put the transfer down and pull the backer sheet off it. And the reason I do that is that our transfers have a sticky back. And that sticky back is awesome because it's going to keep our designs put where we want it to go when we put it down on the surface. But it also sometimes means that it's so sticky that it's sometimes hard to pull up the surface after we've added our chalk paste to it. And we want to make pulling it up super easy. So the way that we can ensure that it does pull up really easily is we just take a minute to do what we call fuzz the transfer. So I'm just using our fuzzing cloth here. It's basically a terry cloth towel surface. And I am just laying our transfer over that terry cloth side of the fuzzing cloth and just kind of decreasing a little bit of the stickiness so that when I go to put this down on my board and I chalk it, when I go to pull it back up, it's going to release off that board really nicely, and I'm not going to take the risk of stretching my transfer. So there we go. It's pretty well set. I still have it sticky side up. I just noticed there's this big glob. Not that it really matters because it's not going to be in the area that's getting chalked. But since I'm going to take it off, I might as well. And then I'm going to lay this down where I want it to go. And I'm going to eyeball this, but you could certainly grab some tape. Matter of fact, we have some great tape that you can use to just make sure that everything is centered. But I think this looks pretty good. Now notice as I am putting it down on the surface, I'm rubbing it with my hands. And the reason why I'm doing that is I just want to make sure that there aren't any air bubbles. I want to have a nice, clean transfer of the design, and I'm going to actually use my large handled squeegee here just to rub across the surface of the transfer before I add chalk paste, just to make sure I've gotten all the air bubbles out. So I have, that was it. So it is ready to chalk. Now you're going to laugh at how quick and easy this goes. It's going to be super fast and super easy. It's one of the cool things is that you can see there's a lot of detail on these chickens, and all that detail is going to appear on this board. So you're going to be really amazed at how awesome it looks when we're done. So I'm just going to take my chalk paste container here. Again, this is our black velvet chalk paste. And I'm just going to take one of our stir sticks here and give it a good stir. Just make sure that it's all constituted and it's in a nice smooth consistency. It looks pretty good. I haven't actually used this black ink and black paste, in a little while, but it is definitely ready to be used. Now I'm just going to take my stir stick here and use it as a way to dab some of the chalk paste onto the surface of the screen. And then I'm going to use my handled squeegee there to pull the paste across. And this is a little bit of a wobbly board, so I'm going to hold on here and make sure I don't lose any contact with the board. Now we don't have to worry about chalking the whole surface. The green, remember, is just the adhesive. It's just the silk screen area that we want to make sure gets chalked. That's where we're going to see that design be left. And really, a little bit of chalk paste goes a long way. So you can see that I can spread out that chalk paste that I had dabbed over quite in a big area here. Whoops, I think I just got my finger stuck in it. See, look at that. No worries, not going to mess anything up. And once I have gotten it all, I am just going to take that squeegee and I am going to pull up any excess paste and put it right back into the jar. So that means super economical, doesn't use a lot, and, whoops, sorry, I missed a little area here that I want to get at, and, as I said, a little goes a long way. You can start to see the design actually coming through. So that's telling me I got most of that chalk paste off of the screen. And that's exactly what I want to do. So I'm going to just put this aside and then watch this. This is the best part. It's what we call the peel and reveal. So again, just want to make sure I'm not stretching my transfer. So I am going to use both hands and pull it up nice and slowly. Look at that intricate, beautiful design. Oh, I don't know what it is that made me wait so long to use this gorgeous transfer. Look at how lovely that is. I just can't get over how gorgeous it is. Wow. If you're watching and you like it, send me some hearts and some love. I think this is probably one of my most favorite transfers yet. I don't know, again, why it is. It took me so long to finally get around to using it. But, you know, one of the things that you can do is use multiple colors. So if you wanted to add some color and variety to this, some yellows and some reds, some browns, oranges, these chickens would be quite lovely as well with all of those color options, don't you think? Wow, 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 wow. So, wow, I'm really loving this. Awesome. And so what I'm doing on the side here that you can't see is I've actually just put that transfer into the water bath that I have nearby here. And I'm just putting the sticky side into the water, and that way it'll make sure that it doesn't stick upon itself while it's waiting for me to get around to cleaning it. So this will take a couple minutes to dry. You can hurry the drying process along if you want by just using a little heat gun or a hair dryer, or in about 4 to 5 minutes this will be all done. Now what I want to do is I just want to add the words farm fresh, and I just need to decide if I want them up here or down below. I've left about an equal amount of space in both places. So I'm kind of thinking that I want to put it above. But if you're watching and you have an opinion, tell it to me. What do you think? Should I put it above or should I put it below? Now the one thing I would tell you is I mentioned that we have inks as well. And these chickens would look really awesome on our pillows. We have a nice 20 by 20 canvas pillowcase that you can purchase on my site. And actually this is an example of one of those. I don't want to put it right on top because it's still here. Let's see if I do this. I'm going to switch the view here for a sec. So you can see, look at that. Yeah, lovely. There we go. This is using our Home Sweet Home transfer. But wouldn't this look great with the chickens on it? I think it might. All right, so head back over to our project here so you can see that. And we'll see how this is doing in terms of being dry. And it's pretty close, I have to say. Just touching it with my finger here, it feels like it's hardening. So that's awesome. So let me ask one other question if you're watching. And you know what? If you're watching this on the replay, that's awesome. Tell me that you're here and watching the replay. I would love to know it. And I would love it if you would be sure to tell me how it is you learned about me. And again, please be sure to subscribe so that you can see some other awesome projects that we'll be doing coming up over the next few weeks. So the other question I had for you was, do we stick with the black for the Farm Fresh? Or should we give a little bit of glitter and use our gold shimmer paste to put the Farm Fresh? Big question of the day. That's probably the hardest part of chalking, is deciding what colors to use because there's so many awesome colors. All right, while we're thinking about that, I'm going to push this off to the side for a sec and get my fuzzing cloth out one more time so that I can fuzz our Farm Fresh. And I hope you're loving this. It's so nice that we have this world of Facebook here now where we can share these great projects together. And here we go. I think we're going for the top. And I'm going to place that right here. Again, kind of eyeballing it. It looks pretty centered to me. I'm pretty happy there. And again, just going to rub it down here with my fingers. Just make sure there's no air bubbles. I still just can't get over how awesome these chickens look. Doesn't it look like it was printed on there? And I guess as a silk screen it is technically printed, but boy, I don't know that I ever expected it was just going to look that gorgeous. Now the other thing I suppose we could use is red, which would be really pretty, and then maybe put on the bottom some kind of buffalo check ribbon or burlap. Maybe if I put this up here, we could do a nice burlap bow on the bottom. All right, I think I'm going with that direction. So I am going to use this beautiful gold shimmer paste. And here's that paste for you. I'm going to grab another squeegee and stir stick here that I left behind me. So again, just going to give it a little stir. And I like to normally keep my lives here to about a half hour, and we are getting pretty close to that half-hour mark. And if you've been watching, you probably have realized that this project took me about 5 minutes. right? The rest of me was being, you know, chatty Cathy, which I can definitely be a chatty Cathy. So if you're liking this and you want to give Chalk Couture a try, I would definitely encourage you to check out our new Club Couture program. That Club Couture program is a monthly subscription program where you can receive a brand new exclusive transfer delivered right to your door, plus 3 Chalkpaste colors in single-use packs that will coordinate with that month's design. And you can try out our awesome products and play around and create some beautiful decor and gifts for your family and friends. For just $19.99 a month plus free shipping, it is one of the best deals, I think, out there. You can actually sign up for Club Couture right on my website. As a matter of fact, it's the only place that you can sign up for Club Couture. I can't sign you up for you. You have to do it yourself. The initial commitment is a 3-month commitment, and then you can cancel anytime thereafter. So if you think it might be fun to get a new exclusive transfer delivered right to your door, and so that you can create some beautiful projects like this, definitely be sure to check out Club Couture. And when we're done here, I'll be sure to put a notation in the comments so that you know where it is that you can sign up for Club Couture if you're interested. And I'm just, again, just putting that excess paste right back in the jar. And closing up my chalk paste. And then, remember, just going to pull to reveal those gorgeous letters. Every time I pull them up, I'm telling you, I am just amazed at how gorgeous these silkscreen transfers are and how they work so beautifully in conjunction with our chalk pastes and our inks. So I hope that you had fun watching. I think I'm gonna let this dry and maybe add a nice burlap bow to it and give it a little bit more of some rustic charm. I also have some beautiful wood flowers. Here, I gotta pull this one because it just seems like it's gonna match really nicely. What do you think? Not maybe a little too big. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. Might be too big here. Can't see it on that corner. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. If you see it and you give me an opinion, I'd love to hear it. In the meantime, I hope that you enjoyed today's project, and I look forward to seeing you next time. So be sure to subscribe, say hi when you come in. If you're watching on the replay, let me know what you think about this project. I'd love to hear it. It was great having you here today. So thanks so much for joining me. Take care, everybody. Bye.